Investigators in the deadly Amtrak derailment in Washington state are now focused on speed and possible distractions for the engineer. They say that he did not apply the emergency brakes as the train approached a curve traveling 80 miles an hour, and that was 50 miles over the posted speed limit. David Begnaud is in DuPont, Washington, looking at safety technology. David, good morning.
Good morning, Gayle. Preliminary indications are positive train control was being installed on the tracks here, but it was not active at the time of the derailment. PTC is that program that could have slowed down that locomotive as it entered the curve here in DuPont, Washington. PTC has also led some people to say, had it been active, we wouldn't be here talking about a derailment and deaths.
Crane operators have been busy lifting the mangled rail cars that once made up Amtrak train 501 off of the interstate and onto flatbed trucks. New photos from inside the passenger compartment show the destruction caused when the train derailed.
The emergency brake was automatically activated when the accident was occurring, rather than being initiated by the engineer.
That suggests the engineer never manually slowed the speeding train before it crashed. The event data recorder shows that the train was traveling at 80 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. Among other questions, investigators are looking into whether the engineer was distracted or impaired.
Distraction is one of our most wanted list priorities at the NTSB.
The National Transportation Safety Board says there were actually two people in the lead locomotive cab, the engineer and another conductor who was learning the new route. Both were injured in the crash. Friends and family members are mourning the deceased, including Zach Wilhoit and James Hamry, two local rail enthusiasts who were on board to celebrate the inaugural run of this brand new line. Lloyd Flem is the executive director of All Aboard Washington, the advocacy group that both men belong to.
That's a terrible tragedy, a terrible irony, knowing that they left us doing what they loved and doing what they had worked for is a little bit of a consoling feature.
There were cameras on board the train. They were damaged, but they're on their way to D.C. to be analyzed. Anthony, look, because those train cars actually derailed and fell onto the freeway, it created a traffic nightmare. Even if you don't drive here, get this. Yesterday, some people waited in traffic for 9 hours. One man went 1 mile in 1 hour. Traffic experts were telling people some of their best options were a 65-mile detour.
I-5 is that important, David. Thank you very much, David Begnaud.